What's good, beautiful people? It's your boy Emmanuel. Welcome back again to the channel. If you're new to this channel, I go by the name of Emmanuel, aka palmwinepapi. I do album reviews for Nigerian music. So check out the other content in this channel and my main channel as well. A whole lot of content to consume if you're new to this space. Thank you so much for even deciding to watch this video. We just hit 500 subscribers on this new channel, okay? I've been trying to get this new channel to 1,000, so we're halfway there. Thank you so much for everyone that subscribed so far, that's transitioned from the old channel to this one, and the new faces as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you, and I hope we can get there to the finish line very soon, okay? As soon as we can. Alright guys, about today's video, man. Okay, 2020 has been a shitty year for everybody. We already know that. But for Nigerian music, for the album culture in Nigerian music, it's been a phenomenal year, okay? I mean, all the big industry giants came out, okay? I'm talking Wizkid, I'm talking Tiwa Savage, Burna Boy, I'm talking Olamide, Pato Ranking, Davido is about to drop, Janini Ola. But anyways, today's video, the artist we're highlighting today, the album that we're highlighting today, it's from none other than Afropop legend, Nigerian hip-hop legend, Nigerian street hip-hop legend, Olamide Baddo. Now this is his 8th studio album, okay, but he was coming out of honestly one of his weakest projects yet, the 999 EP, an EP that had 9 tracks. But by the way, I did a review on that on the old channel, so go check that out. That EP sounded like he had a score to settle. It sounded like he didn't even know he has evolved yet. He tried to like prove his heritage in the hip-hop scene by trying more English and more like boom bop-ish kind of hip-hop beats and production here and there, and sounding completely uncomfortable on most of them. The features as well were not really that impressive. It was overall not an impressive effort from him, and I still look at that as one of his weakest projects for sure. And in comparison with this new album, it's almost a complete 360. Well, no, 360 doesn't make sense because you're coming back to the same place. A complete 180, basically. You're seeing him sound more commercial in his comfortable zone. Olamide is a hip-hop artist that has not been afraid of his commercial side, has not been afraid to tackle different sounds, almost like to make Nigerian pop rap in a way that he could sing and carry choruses like any other artist, but at the same time still rap over these really like high energy Afro beats, Afropop beats and production, and he thrived in that lane. He has definitely found his comfort zone in that space. In this album, you hear Olamide sound so comfortable. Every production here sounds super customized for his liking. You can also kind of credit the deal that he had with Empire. Okay, the Empire deal incentivized him to come even more commercial, hence why we're seeing so many commercial faces on this album. He definitely showed why he is where he is today on this album, and showed and brought elements of himself that everyone has loved, and at the same time capturing his evolution as a pop artist. But I see this more as a rap album that is just coded with a lot of the Afrobeat sounds and Afropop platitudes and rhythms on top of that. But on every single song, Olamide is giving you metaphors, giving you punchlines on many cases, is giving you a lot of what makes him a hip-hop legend, and he brought that foot forward. He wasn't shy about hiding that. People tend to dismiss his lyricism. People tend to dismiss how poetic he can be, just because he's giving you just because he's rhyming on a beat that you can dance to. So it's almost like, in one way, it doesn't serve him well, because a lot of people miss what he's saying in many of the songs and let shit go over their head. But on many fronts, if you're a hip-hop fan, or if you're someone that likes to hear punchlines or likes to hear metaphors and just wordplay going back and forth, this is an album that you would enjoy in many cases, okay? It starts the album like any other rap album would start: brag, 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 and let them know why you're here. Let them know why you're in the position you are. And it came in super confident, flaming confident, even though the atmosphere that the confidence is in is almost like a cherry, beautiful, not like dark and gothic like say the 999 EP was trying to be, but it's everything about this album is in a very luxurious atmosphere. It doesn't place you in the ghetto, it doesn't place you in the streets, it doesn't place you in the hip-hop places that you would hear, and the beats just situate you in almost like in a feel-good a feel good arena, feel good like luxurious. Carpe Diem, seize the day. Like you can see in the cover too, he's looking super luxurious in that one, almost posturing like he is elevated beyond all of that, and he's in a comfortable place, being a label head. And we got to see that side of him as a boss, as a CEO. Like he wanted to be seen as that, and you can hear that in the intro track.
Enemy steady blocking my way, but me I'm steady making my pay. I did another level.
The level of braggadocio and metaphors on this song is just crazy. You can hear him say something like, since I came into the scene, sure you know they see, I be big deal, I fit sell ice water to the sea. I mean, like, just hearing, like, come on bro, like, hearing a bar like that, you just have to appreciate it if you're a hip-hop fan. And then making references about how he was a CEO at 22. I mean, but this is hip-hop. This is so hip-hop, what he's doing here. It's one of those things that we have to recognize throughout the course of the album, that he's a rapper first. And he didn't shy away to show that in the album. And then the smooth transition into Greenlight. Greenlight was one of the singles that we had heard before. And this is one of those pop-leaning, honestly feel-good kind of melodies on top, like, and it's just very catchy too. You're in there with him. And this was obviously him showing that he didn't depend on a commercial artist to sound commercial. He did it all in his own vein, singing along in this chorus, and having strong rap voices in the middle of all of that. I see it as a way as talking about consent, give me the approval to move forward with you. And it's a love-centered song, again, pop leaning, feel good kind of record, very romantic too. You can hear the romantic atmosphere of the song too, and that was consistent to infinity as well. That was on the transition, same theme, and honestly one of the best songs on the album, which had one of the biggest prospects of the entire industry right now, Olamide. Come on, look at how sweet this is, man. Infinity, yo, come on. And then put it in, yo. Tell me you're not vibing to this, man. How smooth, man. We're still seeing Olamide get creative with his bars here. Or you can hear these very creative references and similes that he's just throwing out of places. And it's like, wow, okay, how do you even think about that, my guy? Like, how can you think about Cover Me Like Babushka? If you guys don't know what babushka is, all those Polish or Russian like old grandma scarves that you cover around your head. Very creative lines like Cover Me Like Babushka, Sangalo like JJ, and Make a Beat like Sonny Nweke. If you guys don't know, Mastercraft is Sonny Nweke. So it's like, I'm sure he didn't even expect people to like look these things up. He just said these things out of like just being creative by himself. Crazy similes that he was throwing around. It was just a joy to hear, because like you want to pay attention to his verses, because Olamide, he ended up being an enjoyable rapper on this. Like this was one of the albums where I really enjoyed his verses. Each verse was him saying something substantive to some extent that it either like I didn't see it coming and I was like, oh yeah, like that, you just threw me off with that line, or like just certain surprises here and there, and which was like, okay, Olamide he's not just half-assing his verses. He's actually being intentional, trying to find creative ways to make the verses spontaneous and more fun, and couple that with the amazing verses and hooks that we're hearing. Infinity is one of those really solid examples. Honestly, one of my favorite songs. Omale bodied this verse, bodied his hook rather, and I like fun. It was such an enjoyable moment. And another thing to point out in this song structure is most of the songs that he was putting out, he didn't stretch them so long to the point where you got tired of the song. It gave you a good chunk of time that your audience retention was complete on each song. It wasn't like you didn't doze off on one song. He kept the verses. I think each song had at least maybe one verse, or in some cases maximum 2 verses. It was amazing to notice in that structure, because he wasn't stretching songs above 3 minutes. I think most songs were under 3 minutes here. Eru is another song that, if you haven't seen my review of that one from the video as well, again we're getting this very cherry feel good atmosphere. Another example, again, another consistent example of him doing the exact same things I pointed across the other two songs. The sing-along ability was there. I was like singing along with him. It felt like almost simplified the song to my level where I could sing along with it, rather than say having like artists that can hit high notes and making them even more elaborate. Even though they feel good, I feel like anytime a rapper is singing singing along with you, it makes it feel like it's a communal thing. It's like I'm there with you. Like I can sing, I can do the same abilities that you're doing, even though you're not an all-time great singer. Like you're not the best vocally, like you're not vocally gifted, but I feel like I can relate to you in terms of singing. Like we're on the same level of singing that I can sing along with you, if you guys get what I mean. It was just a fun record for that, man. The video was so colorful. I feel like the song too was so colorful in that way. The video very, very well represented what the song was giving me. And you can see him switch into another part of the album where he gets really, really vulnerable. Okay, he invites another huge prospect in the industry, Bella Shmurda, to capture that moment for him, telling his experience about coming up from almost nothing. He's talking about circumstances where his odds were against him, where he was set up to fail, and being triumphant in those scenarios as well. Talking about how he lost his mom and dad, and not thinking he could stand on his own, but still being able to stand on his own today. It's a very, very, very like heartfelt song, and Bella Shmurda does a fabulous job in terms of relating to that story too. I think Bella Shmurda has a similar story to that. You can hear the emotion behind his voice, and couple all of that with the atmosphere set up by Faves, Mr. Producer. Like imagine Faves on the keys, man. The chills that Faves production brings on its own is like just so much. Triumphant ended up being one of the strongest, most vulnerable songs that I've seen from Olamide in a long time. It's been a minute I've heard a song like this. Last time I heard a song like this from Olamide, as honest and as opening as this from Olamide, was probably way back to By This Guy Evaluate album. Most pivotal moments of the album too, because he went from being jolly, being in a luxurious atmosphere, but here you can see him come back to his roots and telling the story of how he became so triumphant at the end of the day. Which for a pop album is a very relatable story that everyone can relate to. And one thing I loved about the voice was the changing in the beats, man. The low points when the beat kind of slowed tempo was showing like literally the low points in his life. Was saying when he lost his mom and dad and when he started getting high. Felt like a low point in his life, and you can see how the beats switch up. Now God Damn My Matata, like that line alone, saying now God is in the picture. You can see the beat pick up again. Now saying like this was the turning point in my life. Now God Damn My Matata, not a boy atata, devil for yakata, spray them ratata. That transition right there. Now God Damn My Matata. It was so poetic how the beat was jiving with what he was saying in the voice, and it just made me appreciate that song even more, man. Pull up on you, mama. Pull up on you. I'm sleeping on duty. I'm at your service. The song At Your Service was a very cool, calm, very melodic rapping throughout the entire song. The beat wasn't doing too much. It set you in the atmosphere that was like letting Olamide take charge. It wasn't allowing like the beat to come in the way and like do too much. Not too theatrical, but again, the little details here and there where you hear like little samples and references. One line I could point to was when he was like something about you making my head the glitch. Let me run it from the top again. And you can see like you can hear like a reload scratch. And I was like, okay, little subtle details like that were cheeky and interesting to find out in the song. Again, little surprises and little details here and there sprinkled across the album that made it look like, okay, there was some level of intention here, even from the production level down to his delivery and how his voices were. I feel like the beats were working for his verses. You know what I mean? And it felt like, again, engaging moments in the album. And we transitioned into a song like Do Better. Do Better took me all the way back. It was such a nostalgic song, and it was such a surprise to the album too. I was like, I didn't see this shit coming. It sounds so 2008. It's ridiculous, man. It's this high tempo, high energy, like all those ringtone kind of songs back in like primary 6 might be, I'm dating myself too much here, maybe not primary 6, maybe like JS2, JS3 times that you would hear all these ringtones that are like I'm thinking about that era. That's the nostalgia that this song gave me, man. It was so aggressive the way the song came in, I was like, yo, what is this? And like, it wasn't the smoothest of transitions from such a cool and calm song like At Your Service, and then we're getting Do Better, which was like so fast paced. Bro, his cadences need to be studied, bro. The way he switches the flows on these beats, and it just made the song even so enjoyable. And just him dancing on the beat, just his cadences were flowing. His cadences are so good that they become an instrument in the beats too, man. Lava, Libby, Lobo, Lava, like little shit like that, bro. It just makes the song bang, bro. Naira Marley has a unique style. Zlatan have a unique style, but nothing like Olamide, man. Nothing like Olamide when it comes to jumping on these high tempo, high energy songs that just make you feel like this is rap genius right here, telling a story on such a beat, bro. Like, it's like, oh, not anyone can do that. The song has a beautiful story to it. The song is called Do Better. It's telling you about his mistakes in the context of his marriage and his life, where he has, okay, there's areas in my life where I'm supposed to do better. And you can hear about him trying to give himself accountability. Another transparency and vulnerable moment here in the album. In such a uplifting yet high energy record that took us way back. This song is an entire trip, man. This song is an entire trip. Was definitely one of my highlights of the album for sure. Do you know the song it reminds me of? It's not Lori Lel Odigombe. The song that this beat reminds me of is Polumurero, Okpomilero. Listen to the beat from Okpomilero and hear this song. You know what I mean? You hear the similarities that I'm trying to talk about. It gave me some nostalgic memories. It triggered something in my brain, Sha. Chimichanga is another love-centered song where it was like talking about just trying to win a girl over. It feels like your average like pop leaning kind of song. The melody is there, but this one is not as contagious as the rest. It's not the best of the pop leaning songs that are here, so it's just one of those like throwaway kind of records. It wasn't as much fun as you can get from this one. It wasn't a highlight like that. Chimichanga was alright. Not much going on here, but again we can still recognize some of the similes, some of the metaphors that are just like, okay, how did you think of that? Yeah, it's cheeky and exciting, but Chimichanga as a hook too is not so defining or not so strong. We get another unique moment on the album, Shilalo with Fino, man. Shilalo. Every other day she Shilalo. Oh, I love this, man. The keys, man. Again, Shilalo, so strong, man. This song was so sing-alongable, it was ridiculous. The color response effort on the song, the repetition of the word Shilalo. I heard Shilalo so many times that Shilalo was just stuck in my head. And that was one brilliant way too of like making the song stick, and the engagement is just there. Like the song is just attached to you. You're singing along to it. And shout out to the production here, man. And the trance that the beats put you in is so organic and so real. The word Shilalo, I'm not too aware what it means exactly, but in the context of the song, you can pick up on the fact that the song is sexually charged. It says, when I'm in the mood, she de Shilalo. Even when I'm not in the mood, she de Shilalo. And it's like, okay, I can see what he's talking about here. I don't know what Shilalo means. If you guys know what it means, again, this is a family-friendly show, so be careful how you're translating that in the comment section. Keep it safe, keep it PG, you get. But nonetheless, a strong verse from Fino as well, and capturing the mood of the song. Just jiving in. When I hear Olamide and Fino, I'm thinking of two of the rap like rap heads, like they can go back and forth together when it comes to just hip hop. But this was not a hip hop moment. This was not a hip hop beat. Neither was it like really focused on their rapping abilities. It was just more on the topic of the song and building the atmosphere for the song. This is one of those like, okay, this is the intimacy kind of record here, and they bodied it still. Shilalo, that word is just stuck in my head, man. And now we get to Lodin featuring Bad Boy Tibbs. Again, another huge industry prospect. One of my favorite new artists right now, Bad Boy Tibbs, bro. This song, Lodin, there's nowhere else to put it. A jam and a half, bro.
Spiritual ginger.
This Bad Boy Team's guy, man. This guy. The way he bounced on the beat, the cadences of his hook, just brilliant, man. It just works with the beat, just makes you wanna, like, you know. Ah, man, the song just makes me want to be in a party, man, especially like a Lagos party. The Amapiano trumpets that was there in the background, you know what I mean? That feel, I feel like this was the best. This is one of my favorite Amapiano like renditions by a Nigerian artist, man. It was so subtle, so sweet. And then Bad Boy Tim's killing the verse, an absolute banger, bro. I go to the song just on my chill time, bro. This is a song to jam to, man. This is a party record. This is a club banger, bro. Olamide doing his thing, just vibing through it. But I think Bad Boy Teams just stole the show with that hook, man. That hook is just fire, man. It's just fire. And we get to the last two records, and this way, like, almost the lowest point of the album for me. The last two songs. Again, the same song about love, but nothing too special about them. And shout out to Peruzzi. I love Peruzzi and the level of energy he brings to his verses. But I feel like the energy wasn't taking me anywhere. It just felt, the atmosphere of the song just felt really generic and like average. The song with Fireboy, I expected a lot more, honestly, I won't lie. I expected a stronger, like, I feel that Fireboy stealing the show on this album in terms of all the prospects that Olamide has platformed here. Yeah, I don't know, maybe I raised the bar too high for him. The beat is heavy, bro. The beat is heavy, and one of my biggest high points of that song too was how poetic Olamide's verses were. Olamide, again, he's the poet, bro. Like, when it comes to making metaphors or having a theme and then running with that theme, making it so solid, using the word plenty as an anchor, almost like a poem, right? Like, you use that one word to lead you to other lines, and using the word plenty, there's no other way to describe it than poetic. Those verses were so poetic. In terms of the hook, on the Fireboy scale of hooks, it was on the lower scale, okay? It wasn't much to write home about for that hook. But it still made an okay song, but the highlight of that song was definitely Olamide's like verses, okay? Playing with the word plenty. Talking about how he's untouchable in the industry. People can't touch him, he's in his own lane. Again, the confidence booster that we all needed to wrap the album with, because he started the album that way and he ended it that way. It was almost like a full circle type thing. I like when the intro and the outro kind of connect in some way. And it was a brilliant way to close the album, but I didn't like the level of detailing in the song. I feel like it could have done more towards the end of that song in order to make it more intentional that it was ending an album. There's a difference between you ending a song and you ending an album. I feel like the last, maybe say 10 seconds of the last song of the album, there should be some intention there to show that, oh yeah, this is supposed to be a closer. The way it ended was kind of abrupt, and I was like, okay, this is not an easy way to just like end the entire album, which again, the album was phenomenal. Like, it was a great album, and just the end, just like, okay, you would have finished it even nicer, but then again, you can't have everything. You can't have everything in many albums. All together, man, this was a solid effort. Again, my biggest takeaways was the fact that Olamide showed why he's one of the hip-hop's legends, okay? When it comes to the ability to rap, the ability to jump on an uncomfortable beats that nobody has any business to be rapping on, but Olamide somehow finds a way to make a rap voice, okay? One of the rap verses that can go against any of your favorite rappers. You know what I mean? Having rap verses like that on such high energy pop cherry records, it's just brilliant how he does it, and allowing for very, very melodic rapping too. Like, he is open to singing, and when he's singing too, like, he's rapping in a way too, because he's using brilliant lines and wordplay in his hooks, and it's just one of those things you have to appreciate, man. And he's definitely showing why he is where he is on this album, bringing huge prospects for the industry, such as Fireboy, such as Omale, Bella Shmurda, man. Oh, such a killer hook and presence of that album. Just brilliant features all over the place, and whoever he showed up, with the exception of Peruzzi and Fireboy in some sense, but most of the features made sense. And every time Olamide was solo, he made a good argument for why he was solo, and every solo song still had a good presence. A lot of the songs were still, in a way, still kept me engaged throughout the different details that were sprinkled across the album. With the production was vibrant with his verses in many places, and it was like, yo, this is some level of intentionality here. Just tweaks and changes here, changing had like an electronic effect to one hook, or just little details like that just made me look, okay, yeah, there was some level of, the attention to detail here was high, and it made me appreciate the album a lot, because it's one of those things that I pay attention to. I was like, are there any twists and turns that I don't see coming as a listener that you shock me with? That the level of shock value, I'm like, it was there. There were many instances of that, and it's just one of those things that I appreciated the album for. Some of the setbacks, I would say were moments where the melody wasn't strong enough to carry across the song. You can see that in the example like Plenty, like I mentioned, like Unconditionally too. No, Chimichanga was one of those melodies that wasn't too strong to carry the song. So yeah, so that basically those would be my least favorite. I appreciate the structure of every song. Almost every song had just 2 verses that kept it simple, kept the songs under 3 minutes. Again, increasing the audience retention here. Like for me and every album listening session, it's one key factor. Like it's one key factor in terms of having an enjoyable album. And I've been going back and forth with people from Made in Lagos review. This was one point I was telling that Made in Lagos was lacking in that front. The ability to keep my attention in the album. Like it was lacking in that department. And this, on the contrast, and I hate to compare 2 albums, but this was the complete opposite of that. Just little details here that I didn't expect. Like just little tweaks and things like that. That's what I was trying to explain with people in the comments. And now for my favorites. Oh, it was hard picking my favorites, but Loading, Triumphant, Eru was such a feel-good song, man. Infinity, Shilalo too, man. Yo, like there were bangers that I really loved, and I had so much replay value, man. And this is one of my favorite albums of the year, man, not gonna lie. Olamide's Carpe Diem, my final rating for this one at the moment, sounding like an 8.5, bro, almost a 9, almost damn near a 9. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think about this one. How would you rate it? What were your best songs? What were your least favorite songs? Let me know in the comment section. And thank you so much again for watching. I am your boy Emmanuel, aka palmwinepapi. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about this channel. Check out my old videos again on the main channel. Go check that one and subscribe if you haven't. I love you guys. Thank you so much for engaging, and I'll see you guys